So in this tutorial, pretty much just going to show us how to use Git Bash and download Git Bash. Okay. So first, open your browser, and we're going to just say go to Google and use download Git Bash. So you see it's the first link right there. So it depends on your OS, so just download the version that so after you download, just run the .exe file here. Okay, and you can leave it as default installation. Let's step by step. You may not see it on, if you don't see it on your desktop, what you just need to search for that. Okay, by typing git, and you see it start to show right there, right? So if you don't see, you can double check under all programs. This should have a folder Git if you happen to follow the default installation, which I'm going to show you now. After download, you can just run the .exe and do next. Like I said, you can just leave it as default. It's going to put a Git folder under C program files. So it said the folder is already exists because I already have Git Bash installed. Right there, those are Git Bash Git command. So let's see if I am going to change the name then. Git folder. So it's let me just create a new folder because it says not seeing that folder. Like for you can just install in that folder right by default if you don't have one yet. You can create a, so I don't have the permission, sorry. So I don't have the right access to that. So let me just try to see if I can just install on my desktop, because this machine I don't have the admin right. Okay, so let me do that. Now, next step, I just moved location to desktop because I don't have the access to install in that location. I'm not admin right. If you have your personal machine, you should have that problem. Now, next step, like I said, you can leave it as default. Okay. And it's pretty much just said you want to create that on your start menu. We're going to leave it like default. So use Git from Git Bash only, which is fine. You can leave it as default. But if you want to use on command prompt, so which is a CMD, right? That if you like now, if I type Git, it's not recognized because I didn't put it right. So if you want to use from that, you can check this. Okay. Use Git and optional Unix tools from the Windows command prompt. So, like I said, you can leave it as default, or if you feel like you want to use on your CMD, you could use that too. And this is just the styles. Okay. Like this is going to be a Windows style. Like if you use to terminal or Unix, you might just want to use a Unix style. Okay, so again, there's nothing wrong to leave it as default. Okay. For now, I'm going to check as the Unix style line endings. So in this case, Git will not perform any conversion when checking out text files. And we will talk about that when we start to use it. Okay. This is just a default, like if you use CMD as default. Like I said, you can leave it as it is. If you leave it as it is, then we can just use Git Bash, like showing you. Now I'm going to test with Windows. Now it's start to install. So those are pretty much just where you configure them based on your preference. Mainly, the difference is just you want to have a Unix style or you want to have the Windows style. Do you want to have the CMD using Git 2? It's going to allow your CMD to have that. Okay. Now, after install that, then we can test. I'm going to close CMD out. Like I said, we already have Git Bash, but now since I install it again, then there you go. There's a Git folder now, right? Because the one that installed before, the configuration, they didn't allow it to create that. So that's why, and you've seen that I checked that it should create it. Then you have a Git CMD, you see that? Like the style is just like Windows, right? CMD. And if you can do Git Bash, which is style is just like Unix now. If you have Windows, if you have Mac, you type terminal, it's going to open something like this. And we also have the GUI. It's just graphic user interface. Like if you feel like you don't use command, then you can just use graphic user interface to do the work. Okay. Now, the point of this is I just want you to use Git Bash because we want to learn Unix command. So that's why we're going to use this one. Big command that we need for Unix, I'm going to demonstrate here. And also, we're going to learn how to write Java code with VI. I'm going to show you how to use VI here. And our program, we're going to write an applet program. And then I'm going to show you how to create the HTML to embed that applet and run. Okay. So basic command that we learn. So pwd is showing you the location where you're at, right? The path in working directory. And now, if I want to do ls, it should list all the folders and files in this directory. And if I change it to desktop ls, right? So now I have folder CC200, which I'm going to use that folder. I'm going to ls again to see what we have so far. So I'm going to make a directory, mkdir, right? And this directory name, let's name it lecture 3.2. So that directory is created in the purple color. You may see if you use Unix style, it's more colorful than CMD, right? So it's easier to read with Git Bash here. Now we're going to change directory to that lecture. It just doesn't have that directory. So let me do it again. I just changed directory to lecture 3.2. We can start to create VI and a simple applet program. So let me just create an applet. My first applet. So using VI now, right? .java. Okay, so again, this is VI. So VI has two modes, right? One is the command mode, which is by default you're going to be in the command mode when you start the program. And we also have the editor mode by when you click on I. So that's going to take you to the editor mode by stand for insert. Now we can type the code, which is Java code start with public class, and the file name should be the same name as your class name. And I create a file name named my first applet, right? And now we're gonna do public. Now when we do applet, there's no main, right? No public static void main. So the class is going to be init graphics canvas. So this part you pretty much just need to review Java code, okay? So but our lecture here is, for this point, we just focus on how to use VI editors, right? And you can review your textbook for Applet, right? The code for that. Now, alright, so this is an example of Java Applet code that we can find online to draw line. So to draw a line, like I said, this is standard public class. When you use Applet, you need to extend. Now this is the older version. Older version of Java is going to be Applet. The newer one is going to be JApplet. Okay? Like the older one, you can just import java.applet, right? .asterisk. The newer one, you're going to say java.japplet, swing.japplet, javax.swing.japplet. Okay, but it's going to do the same work. Now, this is a part is going to, like instead of main, we're going to use paint to draw the line. And when we import, this is for applet. And what is import? Import pretty much just include another Java class or Java library into this. Then you can pretty much technically can write a program, just like when you learn scanner, you just import it too. For import Java AWT dot asterisk, this is where we import graphics. Graphic is resized in this package. Okay.